Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavari Sadhya Vishatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavari Paschatya Vishatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimati Gaura Bhaktari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimati Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimati Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimati Gaura Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Nitai Sachi Sundar, Nitai Sachi Sundar, Nitai Sachi Sundar, Jaya Nitai Sachi Sundar, Jaya Nitai Sachi Sundar, Nitai Sachi Sundar, Nitai Sachi Sundar, Nitai Sachi Sundar, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Jaya Vancha, Patitana Bhavanito, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Vancha kalpatarubhyasa kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nittai Satsisam, Nana Nittai Satsisam, Nittai Satsisam, Jaya 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 Nittai Satsisam, Jai Shri Nittai Satsisam, Ki Jai Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai, Gaura Premanandi Hi Bhajayo Jayo Gaura Chande Hara Hikajo Jayo Jayo Gaura Chande Hara Hikajo Janavitata Vande Jaga Manalopa Janavitata Vande Jaga Manalopa Raghi Bambe Gadadhara Rakhi Bambe Gadadhara Nikatke Advaita Sri Vasa Gadadhara Nikate Advaita Srinivasa Asa Chatradhara Vashi Yacheko Rachan Radna Simhasane Vashi Yacheko Rachan Radna Simhasane Advati Korela Brahma Ati Deva Kane Advati Korela Brahma Ati Deva Kane Nara Hari Hari Kori Sambara Nara Hariya Hikori Amarajulaya Sanchaya Mukunda Vasu Ghosh Atikaya Sanchaya Mukunda Vasu Gosha Atikaya Shankar Bache Kanta Bache Bache Karadhala Shankar Bache Kanta Bache Bache Karadhala Madhura Nitanga Bache Paramarasa Madhura Midanga Madhuri Parama Prasala Shanka Bhaje Kanta Bhaje Madhura 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 Bhaje Shanka Bhaje Kanta Bhaje Madhura 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 Bhaje Shanka Bache Kancha Bhaje, Madhura 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 Bhaje, Shankha Bhaje, Kancha Bhaje, Madhura 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 Bhaje, Madhura 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 Bhaje, Madhura 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 Bhaje, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Bahu, Vajichan, Yachini, Vajana, Ujvala, Bahu, Vajichan, Yachini, Vajana, Ujvala, Kalla, Deshivana, Mala, Kore, Chalamala, Kalla, Deshivana, Mala, Kore, Chalamala, Shiva, Shukanarada, Rime, Kadhaka, Shiva, Shukanarada, Rime, Kadhaka, Pakadi, Vinoka, Deke, Gaurara, Sampada, Vaka, Vinoka, Deke, Gaurara, Sampada, Giva Chayo, Vayo, Gaurachante, Adradikashoba, Chayo, oh Chayo Gaurachante, Adradikashoba, Chanavitadavani, Jaga Manaloba, Chanavitadavani, Jaga Manaloba, Gaurange Arotikshoba, Jaga Janamanaloba, Gaurange Arotikshoba, Jaga Janamanaloba, Gaurange Arotikshoba, Jaga Janamanaloba, Gaurange Arotikshoba, Jaga Janamanaloba, Jaga Janamanaloba, Jaga Janamanaloba, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai Satchitandana, Nitai Satchitandana, Nitai Satchitandana, Jaya Nitai Satchitandana, Nitai Satchitandana, Jaya Nitai Satchitandana, Nitai Satchitandana, Nitai Satchitandana, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu jaivacha patitana pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu jaivacha patitana pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Nitai Satchitananda Ki Jai, Govardhan Giriraja Govardhan Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaura Premanandi. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Bhattakacharya Shuddha Rashada Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Bhattakacharya Shuddha Rashada Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namachara Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasudi Gaura Bhaktarinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Shri Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Ganga Maya Munamai Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Samveda Bhaktarinda Ki Jai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurana Vacharina Nivishesh Shunyavadi Paschadya Deshitarine. Hare Krishna. Welcome Jayanti Bai. Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladana Praladana Hiranyakashi Puvakshaha Hiranyakashi Puvakshaha Shrilatanka Nakalaye Shrilatanka Nakalaye Ito Rishinga Parato Nishinho Ito Rishinga Parato Nishinho Yato Yato Yamitato Nishinho Yato Yato Yamitato Nishinho Hidaya Singho Pahi Krishna Hidaya Singho Nada Simha Madim Saranam Prabhupada Nada Simha Madim Saranam Prabhupada Abhakada Kamala Mure Nakam Nabuddha Sringam Alita Hiranya Kashipu Tanu Pringhara Keshavadita Naraharirupa Hey Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Abhakada Kamala Mure Nakam Nabuddha Sringam Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Yanu Pringhara Keshavadriya Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadriya Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Nishimhade Nishimhade Jai Nishimhade Nishimhade Jai Nishimhade 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 Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Nrsimhadev, 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 Nrsimhadev. Jai Nrsimhadev. Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Gaura Premanandi. Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauran Pracharana Nirvishesha Srinivadi Vasiti Dishita. Hare Krishna. Everyone, Hare Krishna, welcome. Welcome Amrita Radhe Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, let's chant a very short Chaya Radha Madhava and then look at some verse. In the meantime, Amrita Radhe Mataji, maybe you find us a beautiful Bhagavad Gītā, Bhakti, Super Bhakti verse. Pure devotional service. Anyway, it's all over. Anyway. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Chandavallabha Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Gopi Chandavallabha Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Giridvaradhari Yashoda Nandana Jai Prachana Jai Yashoda Nandana Jai Prachana Jai Yamunatira Vanatandi Jaya Kunchapihari Jaya Yamunatira Vanatandi Jaya Kunchapihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunchapihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jai Kunchapihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Nitai Chachitunda 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 Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jai Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada Jai Shri Nitai Satchitananda Ki Jai Giriraja Govardhana Ki Jai Gaura Premanandi Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. Amrita Radhe Mataji, have you found the verse?
Prabhu, Rituvan Vihari Prabhu is suggesting Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Would you like to discuss that one?
Rituvan Vihari Prabhuji Ki Jai. How are you?
How is
Prabhuji ki jai.
it?
Prabhuji, yes, I was thinking like if you think that it is appropriate, Anannas Chintayantamam Je Jana Purchupashate Tesha Nityabhiktanam Yogakshema Bhamyam, would that be all right?
Say it again and slower. I can't hear you
Oh, yes,
well.
Prabhuji. Anannas Chintayantamam Je Jana Purchupashate
Ananyas
Tesha
Chintayanto Mam Ye Chana Paryupasate
Tesha Nityabhiktanam Yogakshemam Bhamyam.
Yaham. Okay, beautiful verse. Very, very well done. Ananya. Do you know which chapter verse?
Prabhuji, I have to check.
Doesn't matter. I can look for the verse.
So it's 922.
922. Bhagavad Gītā 922. 22. There it is. Let's share that screen. Let's share that screen. Okay. So, Rituan Vihari Prabhu, can you say the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya and read us a verse, please?
Yes, please. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate. Yes, Ruji. Sorry. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Srimad Bhagavad Gītā, chapter 9, verse 22. Ananyas chintayanto mam.
Ananyas chintayanto mam.
Ye jana paryupashate.
Ye jana paryupasate.
Tesham nityabhiyuktanam.
Tesham nidyapiyuktanam.
Yogakshemam mahamyaham.
Yogakshemam vyaham yaham. Let's go right into the translation. Okay, read us a translation and purport, please.
Yes, Lord. But those who worship me with devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours, being engaged in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, rendering other services, cultivating friendship, and surrendering fully to the Lord. Such activities are all auspicious and full of spiritual potencies. Indeed, they make the devotee perfect in self realization. Then, his only desire is to achieve the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is called yoga. By the mercy of the Lord, such a devotee never comes back to this material condition of life. Shema refers to the merciful protection of the Lord, and the Lord helps the devotees to achieve Krishna consciousness by yoga, and when he becomes fully conscious, the Lord protects him from falling down to the miserable conditioned life. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Jai Hare Krishna. What a beautiful purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Gananjana Salakaya Jakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manupishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakatamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Zagrachatam Zahagana Ragunatan Vidam Tam Zachivam Satvaitam Savatutam Parichana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Chagadapate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya Evacha Paditanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Ananyas chintayanto mam yechana paryupasate tesham nityapyuktanam yogakshemam vyaham yaham. But those who worship me with devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. And Srila Prabhupada, such a beautiful purport, full of pure devotion. Even the first sentence, one who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness. So that we have to ask ourselves, can we live even a moment without Krishna consciousness? Or are we constantly Krishna conscious? We cannot even live for a moment without Krishna. That's a good question. But think of Krishna 24 hours. Are we thinking of Krishna 24 hours? Or there are many hours and moments in between here? Being engaged in devotional service. And what is that devotional service? Hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, rendering other services. These are, of course, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Patasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, the limbs of bhakti, which one can, all of them, one can, all of them one can execute, or some of them, Srila Prabhupada explains, or at least one of them. Parikshit Maharaj was reaching perfection just by hearing, Shravanam. Shukadev Goswami just by chanting, Kirtanam. And so there are personifications. I think it's Prahlad Maharaj, Smaranam, Krishna Smaranam, Vishnu Smaranam. And then Srila Prabhupada mentions cultivating friendship and surrendering fully to the Lord. How can we cultivate friendship? That's a good point. This could point cultivating friendship with who? Certainly with devotees. But with all devotees? No. We know there are three classes of devotees. The lowest class of devotees, or just those beginners, are called Kanishta Bhaktas. Or sometimes Srila Prabhupada translates it, explains it as actually materialistic devotees. How is that possible? Devotee and materialistic in the same sentence. Well, these devotees, let's call them devotees. They are between the material energy and the very, very beginning of Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada explains, actually they're not even really devotees. But because they're trying to become devotees, so we classify them as devotees. So what are the symptoms of a Kanishta devotee? A Kanishta devotee who has developed a little bit of faith. He goes very faithfully in the temple and worships the deities. But he doesn't see Krishna in the heart of the other devotees. What to speak in the heart of every living entity. So the Kanishta Bhakta, he may offer his obeisances, he may do ritualistic performances and for the deity, but then out of the temple or even in the temple, he starts quarreling with other devotees. That means if we're quarreling with other devotees, that means we don't see Krishna in the heart of others. That means we are Kanishta Bhakta on that platform. So that is very significant. On that platform, we committing so many blunders, so many offenses to other Vaishnavas. On that Kanishta platform, we are advised to take association and very carefully listen to devotees who are a little bit more advanced. In fact, everybody is more advanced than the Kanishta Bhakta. And below the Kanishta Bhakta, there is a materialist, full out materialist. So, these different classifications and levels of devotees, sometimes people think devotee is devotee, it's all the same. No, it's not. Nothing in spiritual life is all the same. Only the brahmacharya is all the same. There it's no differentiation. It's the effulgence of the Lord. There is all, if we want all the same, then the brahmacharya is the right place for us. But we are not impersonalists. We don't want to have Sayuchya Mukti. So there is differentiation, different grades of devotees, and it goes up and up and up and up and up and up and up. So many different grades of devotees. It's important to see that. Although for the Kanishta Bhakta it is very difficult even to recognize a Madhyama Bhakta. Because what we don't have in our own heart, we don't recognize that. Theoretically we can perhaps understand a little bit. What to speak of an Uttama Bhakta, what to speak of a liberated soul, what to speak of someone on the Bhava Bhakti platform, what to speak of someone on the Prema Bhakti platform. We have no experience on that Kanishta platform. We don't know. We can take the word of the Shastra and the word of devotees and have faith in that, but personal experience we don't have. So if we make a little bit further advancement, then we come to the level of a Madhyama Bhakta. Madhyama, it's a middle, like the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, the first so many years of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes and as a young Nimai and so on. Then it comes a Madhya chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the middle, and Antya is the end. So Madhya means the middle. So the symptoms of a Madhya devotee is he sees the Lord in the temple and honors the Lord in the temple, and he has increasing faith, more faith than the Kanishta Bhakta. And he also sees the Lord, that same Lord who is on the altar, he sees in the heart of other devotees and other living entities. So he properly can relate to other living entities. He properly can relate to other devotees. He still doesn't understand what's an Uttama Bhakta, what is a Bhava Bhakti, the Prema Bhakti. He doesn't understand that, really. You cannot understand something you have not realized yourself. Theoretically, you know it is there, but that is quite superfluous. So how to get from that Kanishta platform? And we are advised to make progress from that Kanishta platform. It's very important because we committing so many offenses, and the offense is holding us back. Offenses against other devotees. We may gossip about other devotees. All these are all offenses. So we are advised, Scripture and Srila Prabhupada advises us to quickly come at least to the Madhyama platform. On the Madhyama platform, on the Kanishta platform, there's nothing below us. We are on the bottom stage. On the Madhyama platform, there is a Kanishta Bhakta below us. So, Madhyama devotees are very merciful to the Kanishtas and helps them up to a higher level. Because they can understand who is on the Kanishta platform, who is on the Madhyama platform. And they make friendship, because here we have friendship. Friendship is mentioned, cultivating friendship. So if we're speaking about friendship, with devotees, on that is a point. On the Madhyama level, we cultivating friendship with others who are also on that level. Of course, on the Kanishta level, we can also cultivating friendship with other Kanishtas. But on the Kanishta platform, we take instruction and hearing from Madhyama and Uttama Bhaktas and anything up there on top of the Bhakti ladder. And the Madhyama devotee, he will take instruction from the higher Uttama Bhakta and beyond. So there's always three things: giving association to those on the lower stage, friendship, important friendship, on similar spiritual advancement, and taking instruction and hearing from those who are more advanced. It's all very regulated in Shastra. And then we have the Uttama Bhakta, the topmost devotee. Then we'll speak of in terms of we come to Krishna consciousness by faith, little bit of faith. And then we have the association of devotees, sadhu sangha. And then we engage in devotional service. Those who are already a bit advanced, they will engage us in devotional service. And then comes a long stage of anartha nivritti, once we engage in devotional service. And that devotional service may, at the beginning, it may be just a chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So we chant faithfully, trying to chant without offenses. Yes, we want to reach Shuddha Nam, the pure holy name. And that is, in one sense, very easily achieved. All that we have to do, avoiding the 10 offenses. But it is not that easy to avoid the 10 offenses. Because there's some offenses that deeply rooted within our heart from our materialistic conception of life. For instance, blaspheming, devotees who have dedicated their lives to distribute Krishna consciousness to others. And that's a strong word, blaspheming. Devotees who have dedicated their life. First of all, how do we know someone has dedicated their life to the service of the Lord? We don't. And we think, no, that person has so many material desires, that devotee. How can he have dedicated his life to serving Krishna? Well, we shall be very careful. We don't know who has dedicated their lives to spreading this Krishna consciousness. Wherever, we don't know. So we should be very careful of criticizing anybody. The best is to just take fully shelter of one verse. Trinada pisu nichena tarora pisa hishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Shastra advises us, we should take this verse like a necklace and put that around our neck. If something is around our neck, like a pearl necklace, like our tulsi mala, it's always close to us, it's always close to our heart, then we might actually remember that verse of trying to be humble, more humble than the grass or the straw in the street, more tolerant than the tree, not as tolerant, more tolerant than the tree, and giving up our false ego, of not feeling offended by any and everyone. The devotee doesn't feel offended, he understands. Someone speaks some seemingly offending words, oh, he is under the modes of material nature. He can't, that comes from the impurity in his heart, and if he carries on that process of Krishna consciousness, and he will become purer and purer and purer and purer. So, amanina manadena. We should offer respect to everyone. That's very difficult. If we are proud, we think we are so great in whatever way, in a small way even. How can we respect anyone else? No. If someone is qualified, there will be envy. So that all comes in. If we don't cultivate amanina manadena, of giving respect to everyone. Is that possible? Yes. Very much possible. It may seem it's not possible for us, because we have still so many anarthas in our heart. But it's very much possible. Not only for Lord Chaitanya, he preached that verse for everyone how to make progress in Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya, after all, he came to teach the world how to worship Krishna. So giving respect to all, like Raghunath Das Goswami. That's a very wonderful example. Raghunath Das Goswami, he offered obeisances 100 times a day. He was counting that. 100 times a day. 2 other devotees, all kind of devotees. He was on a very high stage. He offered obeisances even to Kanishta devotees. Well, that is quite something. We think, oh, we are so advanced. And the Kanishta is so down there. Oh no, I don't offer obeisances to Kanishta devotee. No, why not? We should. At least they're trying to become Krishna conscious. And who knows, they may become quicker Krishna conscious than we, if we maintain that pride in our heart, I'm so advanced. Or I have certain positions. They are very dangerous positions. They have certain positions. I'm head puchari, I'm head kirtan leader, I'm head administrative leader, whatever, I'm temple president, I'm GPC. Very dangerous if we take on a position, if we don't have the humility, because then we become proud. And then the ego is there to control everyone. We have power, political power, and we're using that power to our advantage. And we're manipulating, and we think we are such a great controller. Krishna declares he will not tolerate pride in his devotees. If we don't give up our pride ourselves, Krishna will cut it down with a sharp sword. And that will be painful. Because we may be in a big position, we're becoming proud, Krishna will cut it down, and we're going from top down to the bottom. Or we're falling down. That's the same thing. So, pride is very dangerous. Therefore, amanina manadena. Giving respect to everyone. Certainly all devotees, of all levels. And along with it goes, not expecting respect for ourselves. That's also a difficult thing. Also, someone doesn't respect me, we feel bad. We shouldn't. Why we should feel bad? Someone doesn't respect me. That person is under the mode of material nature and he's just acting according to the mode of material nature. Has nothing to do with me. Why should it hurt me? If it does hurt me, someone doesn't respect me, that means there is still some false ego. Because we, the Atma, the soul, we cannot be offended by anything. But if we have covered that self with some layers of material identification, then that becomes a source of our suffering, or he, she doesn't respect me. So we shouldn't expect any respect from anybody. So if we can do that, that's probably the hardest two things. offering respects to everyone and not expecting respect in return. It's very easy. I respect you, you respect me. The Romans used to say, Manu manus lavat. One hand washes the other. One hand cannot wash itself alone. So it needs two hands. So one hand washes the other. So each hand gets some benefit of washing the other hand. So that's what it means. I respect you, you respect me. If that contract is there, then we have no problem. But if someone breaks that contract, I respect you, but he doesn't respect me in return, then if the ego is still there, we'll feel so bad. So bad. So that verse of Trinat api sunichana, if we can cultivate that verse, and then Lord Chaitanya says, Kirtanya sadahari, someone who is more humble than a straw in the street, more tolerant than a tree, who respecting everyone and doesn't expect respect in return, he can chant the holy name constantly. That's what the Lord is saying. And Shastra says, because we're chanting in the Nam Aparat stage with so many offenses, the only solution to counteract our offenses, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains and we have discussed, is chanting continuously. But how can we chant continuously if we don't have that humility, that tolerance, and that ego of I should be respected and we cannot give respect to others? It will be very, very difficult. So, what to do? We have to get rid of this ego, which causes so much suffering to us and to others. And to others. So back to friendship. So friendship should be there, not competitorship. We are not competitive. In Krishna consciousness, everyone's service is valued. Krishna values everyone's service. We remember the story of the sparrow who took water, a drop of water out of the ocean with Lord Ram, and everybody says, oh, what is that little sparrow, what can he do? And Lord said, no, he's engaging in my devotional service, he's glorified that sparrow. So if someone does a little bit of devotional service, we should honor that, we should appreciate that. Not that I'm doing so much devotional service and that other person is just doing a little bit, sometimes only even. Krishna, or Srila Prabhupada defined who is a devotee. That's a very interesting question. What a merciful definition. Who is a devotee? Anyone who even once chanted Hare Krishna. Well, that is a really wide-ranging definition. Everyone who once chanting Hare Krishna and said Hare Krishna, one mantra, Hare Krishna, said maybe out of jest, out of mockery, out of this, out of that, now classified as a devotee. So friendship will help us on the equal level. Equal level. Sometimes more advanced devotees, let's say, an Uttama devotee, he may act as coming down from his platform and act as a friend to the Madhyama or even Kanishta devotee. And then we mistakenly think, oh, he's also Kanishta. Oh, he's also Madhyama. So we have to be very, very careful. We have to understand, at least theoretically, what is the position of a higher grade devotee. He may act out of friendship, but if we also act then out of friendship, then immediately we become familiar. And what it is that? familiarity leads to contempt. Contemptuous. We cannot appreciate the position of the devotee anymore because we are overly familiar. There have been examples of devotees who became overly familiar with Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, the Vani, the spiritual form of Srila Prabhupada, is much more, much easier to worship her. Because who can get familiar with the instruction, with the purport in the Bhagavad Gītā? That is hardly imaginable. Huh? But devotees have become familiar and then they fall down from their position. Because then they think, I'm as advanced as Srila Prabhupada. Wow. We even think a little bit like that. Oh, Srila Prabhupada is just on the same platform as me. Oh, my spiritual master is the same platform. I have become so much advanced now, so I'm equal to my spiritual master. Or maybe even more than my spiritual master. Then we go into hell. Very dangerous. So then we go up further of the different types of devotees. We come to the Uttama, we come to someone on the Bhava Bhakti platform. That's a very, very advanced platform. Still on that Bhava stage, where we have an emotional connection with Krishna by our feelings and exchanges with Krishna, there are some remnants of our material conditioning there. So you see this influence of Maya goes a long way. It goes from Shraddha phase to all the way to Anartha Nivritti, and that stretches a long way up until Bhava even. But these, on the Bhava Bhakti platform, these are only some remnants of our material conditioning. They are not serious. The bulk of our material conditioning has disappeared by then. So we can judge ourselves. Where are we? Has the bulk of our material desires, of our material conditioning, of our ego, of our controlling propensity, of our pride, has that disappeared? Or is there only some little remnants sometimes coming up? So it's not the pure devotional platform yet on the Bhava Bhakti platform. And then after the Bhava Bhakti platform comes, of course, Prema Bhakti. By then, all material desires have 100% vanished. And Prema Bhakti means love of Krishna, pure devotional service. And if we compare with that, then that beautiful verse of Brahma Buddha Prasanatma na shochati na kangshati, that comes to mind. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. Sama, same. Sarveshu, all. Bhuteshu, all living entities. On that platform, we don't criticize anybody. We are Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. We are equally disposed, certainly to the devotees, but to all living entities. Equally disposed. That's a liberated platform. The modes of material nature have ceased to exist on that platform. No more. The devotee on the Brahma Buddha liberated. Everybody speaks about moksha, moksha, moksha. But most people speak about impersonal Sayuchya Mukti. They don't know anything beyond that. No, on that liberated Brahma Buddha platform, then all the three modes of material nature have completely stopped to influence us. We are beyond. What then? The next step on that Brahma Buddha platform, we engage in pure devotional service. Pure devotional service. And that is tastable, enjoyable for Krishna. Of Krishna accepts even the offering of a Kanishta. Yes. Even the offering of a pious person, of an indirect offering, he accepts all that. But Krishna really relishes if someone serves him in pure devotion. That means on that Brahma Buddha platform. Then the next step on that Brahma Buddha platform is engaging in devotional service. If we don't engage in devotional service on the Brahma Buddha platform, we're becoming an impersonalist. We want to merge into the brahmacharya. I'm so advanced. So we must engage on that platform. We have many times explained, it's just like offering Krishna sweet rice, pure sweet rice. Anything below that Brahma Buddha platform is offering Krishna sweet rice with some sand inside. It's still sweet, but it spoils the taste, really. With sand in the sweet rice. You have sand in your teeth. Not very nice. So that we're offering to Krishna. But we have no alternative. At least we are offering it to Krishna, and we in the hope and with our endeavor of that sand will go away in due course of time, and it will when we come to that Brahma Buddha platform and we offering Krishna pure devotional service. We wait a bit more, we started late.
I just started hitting the foot. I've got the mobile. I'll be listening.
Okay.
I'll be listening.
So, we want to come to that Brahma Buddha platform, to the pure devotional platform, and offer Krishna sweet rice without sand. Back to Srila Prabhupada's purport. Friendship. Of course, friendship, Srila Prabhupada writes, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, rendering other services, cultivating friendship. So that was friendship with the devotees, but there's also friendship with the Lord, which is known as Sakya Rasa. It's a particular relationship which Arjuna had. Arjuna was a friend. Therefore Krishna says in Bhagavad Gītā, I explaining this science of the Bhagavad Gītā to you because you are my disciple and my friend, my devotee and my friend. So it's very important to become Krishna's friend. Of course, that is a very specific taste in our heart. If we feel attracted by that, we may not feel attracted by friendship with the Lord. Friendship with the Lord, of course, means the sakas, the cowherd boys. How beautiful is that? So going out every morning. Krishna comes out of his house, they're coming out of their house. Krishna takes so many cows, they're bringing their cows all together, and then they're going to the forest. They're beautifully decorated, turban, and they have the bugles hanging over their shoulders. They have flutes made out of stone, out of wood, different types of flutes. They're making a ball out of flowers and throwing the ball forth and back with them. So many things. I think we got disconnected or something. What happened? Oh, what's that? Are we still connected? There was something popping up on my screen. Can you hear me, Amrita Radhe Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear.
Yes. Oh, Rituan. Yes, it was just a pop-up. Yes. Annoying. So there are other relationships. There is Shanta Rasa. It's a neutrality. That's also very beautiful. There are the trees and the creepers in Vrindavan, which also serving Krishna. Whenever Krishna comes by, they're bending down with the fruits, touching the lotus feet of the Lord. So how beautiful is that? That's a Shanta Rasa. Someone may have a tendency towards Shanta Rasa, which is fine, which is great. It's not that one relationship with Krishna is better than the other. Srila Prabhupada explains comparatively, the level of intimacy is increasing, of course, on the different relationships. But each relationship is perfect in itself. Because Vrindavan means everything is there. The trees are there, the flowers, the creepers are there, the friends are there, the parents are there, the gopis are there. Everything together makes that beautiful Vrindavan atmosphere. So that friendship, we're going into the, if one feels attracted to that, that is of course very fortunate, very nice. Like the story of Gop Kumar. He was attracted by that sentiment of friendship with Krishna. It's a perfect example. He was not satisfied of being in Mahaloka and the higher planets, even meeting the four Kumaras. He was not satisfied, even in Satyaloka. Even he had the position of Lord Brahma. Still, something was missing. He was not fully satisfied. Even then, he came to Ayodhya Dham in the spiritual world. Satyaloka is still in the material world, Brahma Loka. But then, crossing over the Viraja river, the layers thicker, 100 times thicker than the other earth, water, fire, air, bhumi, alo, nalo, vayu, and so on. So these layers, we had to cross through. Bhumi, apona, lo, vayu, calm. So it's very difficult. He had some difficulties because that in these different layers, one more dense and thicker than the other. So there are also predominating deities in these layers. And they were saying on his travel, why not stay here? Stay with us. Stay with us. It's so nice. We can offer you so much comfort and so much beautiful. It's like Svarga. More than Svarga, because Svarga is still down in the material atmosphere. And here we are on the borderline to the spiritual world. And Gop Kumar stayed for a little bit. They said, at least come and we serve you, eat something. But his purpose was so strong. He wanted to meet his deity Gopal. He wanted to meet Gopal. That was, and he chanted, what did he chant? He chants the Gopal mantra, which is our Gayatri mantra. It's the second last mantra of our 10 Gayatri mantras. It's a Gopal mantra. So that Gopal mantra, that was given to him by his spiritual master. And that Gopal mantra, he, throughout all the different spheres he traveled, throughout the different planets, he always kept up the chanting of the Gopal mantra. So, through Brahmin initiated, they will get that Gopal mantra. At the time of initiation, the spiritual master will whisper the 10 Gayatri mantras into the right ear. And then we'll chant all 10 Gayatri mantras 3 times a day. Morning when we get up, at midday and evening before going to sleep. So that Gopal mantra pulled him further. So he was in Ayodhya Dham. There was Lord Ram, the perfect human form, so attractive. Hanuman was there fanning him. And when Hanuman saw him, he came to Gop Kumar, took him by the hand and brought him right in front of Lord Ram, Lord Ramachandra. So he could touch his feet. And the Lord was very gracious. He said, oh, Gop Kumar, you have come here. Oh, I'm so happy you have come here. So and so on. And then Hanuman went quickly back. He let him standing there alone. He went back to his service of fanning the Lord. He has not only fanning, he has similar services. Because he couldn't think of leaving Lord Ram's side even for a moment. He had to be engaged constantly in the service of Lord Ram because he was in that dasya rasa, servitorship. It was perfect for him. Dasya bhakti. There are many devotees who are in dasya bhakti. So many examples in the Bhagavatam. So, of course, Hanuman is a perfect example. He wouldn't exchange his position for anything else. You offer Hanuman, okay, so here is something comparatively higher, Madhurya Bhakti or Sakha Bhakti. He wouldn't know what to do with it. No, I'm Lord Ram's servant. Das. Oh, that's a very elevated stage of Dasya Bhakti. We shouldn't think anything, oh, that's not high enough for me. Huh? Otherwise we're saying, oh, Hanuman is not high enough for me. Huh? I should be more intimate with the Lord than Hanuman. Then after that Dasya comes the Sakya Rasa, Sakya Bhakti. Sometimes the cowherd boys is explained the wrestling. They're naughty like young boys. They're wrestling. Sometimes they're taking some boys a lunch pack away from him. And once he wants to catch his lunch, because the mothers are making beautiful lunch for their sons. Kachoris and gulab jamuns and sandesh and a bit of zabchi and puris and chapatis and all kind of dokra, of beautiful preparations. Sweet rice even. But there are some pack lunch because they were all day long in the forest. So some boy takes that pack lunch away from another, he steals it, and once that boy wants to get it back, then he throws it to someone else. And then he runs after that boy and he throws it to someone else. And they're all laughing. Ha 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 ha. And the boy is not laughing. It's my lunch pack. Very attached to. We are attached to our lunch. If we don't get our lunch for 2 days, we are totally bewildered, even for 1 day. So until that boy starts to cry. He cries. He's so disappointed. And then they throw the lunch back somewhere in the bushes. And he catches them and everything is okay again. So they play like this. And they play games. And the winning party, the losing party has to carry the winning party on their shoulders. And all that. Beautiful, all day long playing. Playing like young boys. Decorated. These sakhas are very decorated with turban, with sometimes they're putting peacock feathers in the turban. They're fanning Krishna with chamaras made out of leaves and peacock feathers. They're decorated with earrings. Their mothers made, sure, they're very nicely decorated. Armlets, anklets, earrings. They're making garlands from forest flowers. They're making garlands from guncha berries. These red and black, white berries. Very hard berries. Radharani's favorite. And then they're garlanding Krishna, and Krishna is garlanding them. Because they're all on an equal level. They don't see Krishna as superior. That Aishwarya, that referential mood is not existing in Sakya Rasa. It's existing in the Dasya Rasa or in Vaikuntha. But in Sakya Rasa, when sometimes they're defeating Krishna, and then they're saying, oh, you big man, you see, we defeated you. Ha, ha, ha. And Krishna's enjoying that on an equal level. They're acting all on an equal level. So that is Sakya Rasa. When they come, in the evenings they come back from the forest. Then the cows going ahead of them. It's very difficult. There is a nice description that Krishna wanted the cows to go ahead of him, and he wanted to be behind the cows. But the cows always turned around and looking at him. So then he went around and he was in front and the cows followed him, and then he went back again and the cows turned around and looking at him. And then he just circled around the cows so many times, the cows got completely bewildered, and then he managed to be behind the cows. And the cows, in their knowledge, oh, Krishna is with us. That was the importance for the cows. Krishna is with us. Because without Krishna, the cows wouldn't do nothing. When Krishna came to age and wanting to take care of the older cows, because previously he took care only of the calves. Wanted to take care of the older cows. Then without Krishna going out, the cows would not even give milk. Without Krishna taking them out, they wouldn't give milk. They refused to give milk. They refused to move. There are many things. So that is that friendship, cultivating friendship. And that is what Srila Prabhupada here describes. Said Sakya Ras, said Sakya Bhava, because he's speaking of the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Sakya, like Arjuna. And then the last item, Atma Nivedanam, surrendering fully to the Lord. And then Srila Prabhupada says, such activities are auspicious and full of spiritual potencies. Indeed, they make the devotee perfect in self-realization. So, perfection in self-realization. There is a very nice description. I can only emphasize you looking into Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is in Adi Lila, let's see if I find that. In Adi Lila 4:15, make a note of that. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi 4:15. 2:41, perhaps a bit beyond, but the main thing is between 4:15 and 4:41. Srila Prabhupada speaks about spontaneous devotional service, or Raga Bhakti or Raga Nuga Bhakti. That is the same as he mentions here. Indeed, that makes a devotee perfect in self-realization. That's a perfection of self-realization, Raga Bhakti. Anything before Raga Bhakti is Vaidhi Bhakti according to regulations and so on. So, naturally, Krishna enjoys that emotional involvement of the devotee, that love and affection. And that's only possible in Raga Bhakti. Before it is all according to rules and regulations. It's kind of a mechanical devotional service, which is fine, because that helps us to advance. And as we know, Srila Prabhupada said, 50 years is more than enough to become perfect in Krishna consciousness. So I might have a chance. Because it's 50 years now. Amazing where the time has gone. And then Srila Prabhupada hints even a bit more. Since the devotee's only desire is to achieve the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is called yoga. So the association of Krishna is either in Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya or Madhurya. Then we're talking about association with Krishna in Vrindavan. Vaikuntha is a different story. There is an awe in reference. And then Srila Prabhupada said, by the mercy of the Lord, such a devotee never comes back to this material condition of life. And so Krishna is protecting Kshema. Krishna protects the devotee to fall down in miserable conditions. Actually, very interesting. Srila Prabhupada doesn't talk much in that verse about what's the translation itself. There is some important point. I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. So that is what jumps into the eye first. But Srila Prabhupada doesn't really talk about it. He talks about all these points we have gone through, even to the point of Raga Bhakti. But Krishna, sometimes people say, how is it possible? Krishna, if I surrender to Krishna, he will not pay my bills. Well, he does. He's arranging everything. But we have to come to that point of worshipping him with devotion and meditating on his transcendental form. There are many that cannot even conceive of the transcendental form of the Lord. To the most they can conceive of the Virat Rupa. There are devotees who very easily, and it is easy, to see God in nature. Okay, that is included in the Virat Rupa, the universal form, with all the plants and creepers and the earth and the stars and the sun and the moon and all that. It's a material conception. In fact, it's an imaginary conception, the Virat Rupa. But it helps someone from the materialistic platform to come a little bit higher. Okay, I can see God in nature. Oh, very good. Like we have this beautiful story of that Mataji, what was her name, who cleaned Srila Prabhupada's bathroom every day. That was her service. And she wiped that mustard oil from the bathtub on some cotton swab. And that was distributed to the devotees, and that was very much sought after ingredients, sought after Mahaprasad from Srila Prabhupada, the mustard oil from his bath. So she cleans her bathroom. And while Srila Prabhupada went on his morning walk, then it was a time. The apartment, his room was empty, so she cleans the room peacefully, his desk and everything. That was not an easy service. Everything has to be exactly as the bell on the table, his notebook, his pen, everything had to be exactly in the place. And so that was her service. One day, she didn't realize Srila Prabhupada came back early because it started raining. So she only realized when Srila Prabhupada came up the stairs towards his room. And she did not know what to do. She just escaped out of the room, but then she was cornered in the corridor. She couldn't get past Srila Prabhupada, who came up the stairs with an Indian gentleman. And they discussed. The Indian gentleman was saying that what a beautiful sunshine was today, beautiful sunny. And Srila Prabhupada responded, yes, Krishna's sunshine. Just see, Srila Prabhupada could relate every and anything to Krishna 24 hours a day. So someone is saying, what a sunny day. What are we saying? Oh yes, it was nice and warm. No, Srila Prabhupada said, yes, Krishna's sunshine. And the beautiful, peaceful nature. Yes, Krishna's nature. So, but the man didn't get it really. He was even below that level of conceiving the universal form of the Lord, conceiving God in nature. And then, of course, we know the story. Then Srila Prabhupada explained this, and everything is shining because it's Krishna's nature, it's Krishna's sunshine. Everything is, like the Brahmajyoti is shining, everything is in that spiritual effulgence. He turned to that Indian gentleman and said, can you see? Because Srila Prabhupada could see. And then he wanted to know if that Indian gentleman could also see. It's very difficult. If we, on any stage of our devotional service, we're realizing something, and it's hard to understand that others don't realize the same thing. If we have a certain affection to Krishna, then we want everybody to also experience that, but others cannot actually understand us. So that gentleman said, no, I cannot see. I cannot see. And he couldn't. And then Srila Prabhupada thought, the Mataji, what was her name? I just cannot. With an M, starting with M. You know her name? What was her name? Rituan Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji, I don't know this story. I just heard from you.
It's not the first time I'm telling this story. But anyway, the name will come later perhaps. So she was in the corner. Srila Prabhupada saw her. And he turned to her. Because she was a devotee. And the Indian gentleman was not very advanced at all. So he turned to her and said, can you see? Well, and she said, no, Srila Prabhupada, I cannot see that spiritual effulgence of everything. And then Srila Prabhupada, with a very compassionate tone in his voice, he said to her, I want you to see. So, on whatever level of devotional service, what to speak of on the Prema Bhakti platform, on the pure devotional, we want to share that. We want everybody to come to that. Now, Srila Prabhupada wanted her and all of his disciples to see that spiritual effulgence. What to speak of, seeing everybody engaged in their respective relationships with Krishna, seeing everyone happily on the spontaneous devotional platform. That Srila Prabhupada wanted. So back to the translation. Meditating on my transcendental form. So few people can really, even devotees, can understand the Lord's transcendental form. Not everybody can understand that. Transcendental form means, of course, Krishna, with in bluish color, eternal form, not any concoction. Real, that's Krishna's real transcendental form, and is transcendental. Human-like, but is transcendental. That means it's not human. It's only human-like. Most people cannot understand that, because there's so much on the bodily platform. So, Krishna's there with curly black locks of hair, with a peacock feather in his hair. We're thinking of the Sakas and Krishna with a turban, and Gunchamala around his neck, and a garland out of forest flowers reaching down to his knees, anklets, armlets, rings, earrings, flute to his lips. That is Krishna's transcendental form, way beyond the Virat Rupa. In fact, the Virat Rupa was for Arjuna not even very enjoyable. He was fearful. But Krishna's transcendental form, as Krishna, not as Nrisimha, Vatsya, Kurma, Vamana, they're also transcendental forms, Lord Ram. But we are advised by Shastra and by Srila Prabhupada to cultivate that form, two-handed form of Krishna, that Vrindavan form, because then we will enter that Vrindavan in due course of time and be engaged in some service as sakas, as elderly gopas, gopis, as all the different relationships. There are unlimited gopas, elderly cowherd men, Nanda, Upananda, and so many out there. They all have parental affection to Krishna. And there are millions of cowherd boys. They all have that friendship, Sakya, Bhava. So to them who are worshipping Krishna with devotion, and we could think of it, with devotion it goes beyond rules and regulations. In fact, it really means that raga bhakti, that is real devotion. Because devotion is, of course we can say I devoted to Krishna, even on the Kanishta platform, there is some sort of devotion there. We're devoted to following the rules and regulations, and that is okay. And we can make progress from that platform. But real devotion, as explained in by Srila Prabhupada, as explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita for sure and certain, in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gītā, real devotion means raga bhakti. Of course, we cannot artificially achieve that stage. That is very important. Prematurely, we cannot. It's just like a young boy, a young girl, prematurely they want to come to puberty. Prematurely, from 5 years old, they want to come to puberty. How is it possible? They have no idea. For some girls, boys, it's all the same. They don't have set different relationship to the opposite sex. They don't have that. So how can you force it? That cannot be forced. It will come naturally in due course of time. Again, Srila Prabhupada, 50 years is more than enough to come to that perfected stage of Krishna consciousness. That's what we're talking about, this raga bhakti. We should know it is there, but we don't have to be particularly concerned about it, because it will come when it will come. And then everything will come to us. The right association will come to us of other devotees who are on that raga platform. We come across the right literature by the Goswamis. Is also so much ragatmika, raga information in Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Bhagavatam is also Bhagavad Gītā. Srila Prabhupada talks about it. Nectar of devotion, very prominent. Oh, Raga Nuga Bhakti explained. But not to a great length. Not exclusively, because devotees were very immature at the beginning. We are very immature when we come to Krishna consciousness. So what's the point? What's the point of talking to a 5-year-old boy about his future relationship, getting married and having that attraction to the opposite sex, that boy will absolutely not understand a single thing. Impossible. Or girl. They don't understand. So we don't understand. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada didn't go to great lengths. It's just that these references are found in the Shastra and in the Goswami literature. Here a little bit, there a little bit, here a little bit. So we come across that. In fact, it comes to us at the right time. Oh, and then we make the connection, sir. Oh, and then some light bulb lights up in our head, and we make the connection. And then when we hear, and when we get attracted to the pastimes of the Lord, either the pastimes with the gopis or the pastimes with the sakhas, then we get a bit of an indication. We're enjoying these pastimes. And we're getting a little bit of, we're enjoying a particular type of pastimes. So are we going towards our eternal relationship with the Lord? So we must, and it was what means we must, at a certain stage of our spiritual development and having gone through so many steps of anartha nivritti, eventually a little tiny spark of greed opens up in our heart. And that's very important, that greed. That spiritual greed. Greed materially is a very abominable thing. But that spiritual greed to achieve that kind of relationship with Krishna which our heart yearns for, which Gopkumar's heart yearned for, which didn't, that spark didn't get extinguished even having accepted the position of Lord Brahma as the supreme controller of the universe. And even that spark was still there even when he went to Ayodhya. And then he came to Vaikuntha, and still he was, after some time, of course he was very exhilarated, being in the presence of Lord Narayan. And Lord Narayan was very, welcomed him so beautiful and nicely, but still in the depths of his heart, that was not what he was looking for. And Narada Muni could see that. And he helped him to reach Goloka. There, then all his aspirations and desires have been fulfilled. When he came to Goloka. And then there's this beautiful scene where he's standing, and there is a painting also, we can meditate on that. Very attractive. And there's a path coming out of the forest. And it goes up that path, and they're standing all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they're lining the path right and left and everywhere, because they're all waiting for Krishna to come back from his cow herding. First of all, what is seen is some dust cloud. Why dust cloud? Because the cows with their hooves, the dust raising. So that's the first sign Krishna is coming. And also they could hear the bugles. They could hear the flutes. They could hear the singing of the boys. So that was before they even got sight of the sakhas and Krishna. And then the excitement grew larger and larger and bigger. And then finally, the cows came out of the forest, mooing happily, kicking their hind legs. And then after the cows came into sight, then Krishna and Balaram came into sight. And then Gopkumar's heart was totally fulfilled. And Krishna also saw him from a distance. Krishna saw him. And he shouted out, "Look, my dear friend Swarup has come." That was his name, his actual name, his cowherd name, Swarup. Bhaktivinoda Thakur chose a very nice name, Swarup. Because we're talking, what is our Swarup? What is our spiritual form? So Swarup means spiritual form, and Gopkumar Swarup was as a Saka. And then Krishna came running to him, embraced him and fainted. And in a pool of tears, and Gopkumar also, and so on. So this is the perfection of devotional service. And that Srila Prabhupada, even in that purport, also the verse doesn't give much away of that, but in that purport Srila Prabhupada quite strongly touches on that relationship with Krishna. Then on that level, of course, Krishna will fulfill all our desires. He will give us, preserve what He carries what we lack, and He preserves what we have. On that level, Hare Krishna. Questions? Rituan Prabhuji, Amrita Radha Mataji. Any questions?
No, Prabhuji, no questions. Thank you.
So it's not that we're doing an arti once a week, saying, okay, I'll do my arti, say Krishna will carry what I lack and preserve what I have. Not necessarily, because we have still so many material desires in our heart. We have to come to a loving relationship with the Lord. And loving relationship means emotion. There's so much more what can be said to all that. What made you choose that verse, Rituan Prabhu?
Prabhuji, just came into my mind, like as you were asking about a verse where Krishna speaks about pure devotion, surrender. So that's the one. Because Krishna says, those who worship me with devotion, meditating on my transcendental form. So it's more like getting absorbed in Krishna and thoughts of Krishna.
Yes, meditation means absorbed. Meditation. Meditation is constant meditation. Manmana bhavamat bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. That is meditation. Meditation is not really 5 minutes a day. Not even 5 hours. Meditation is all the time. Whatever we do, we can do that. Who can stop us from meditating on Krishna in all our daily activities? Who stops us of chanting with our heart? As it is said, that constant chanting, that is chanting with our heart. That is our meditation. After we have chanted, concentrated on our japa beat 16 rounds. Then for the rest of the day with chanting of the heart, meditating on Krishna. We can meditate on the Bhagavad Gītā verse, we can meditate on this verse, 9:22, 24 hours a day. So many more beautiful meanings will come up, so many more insights, and Krishna will help us. So that is also, we can meditate on Krishna in so many ways. Not just the deity. Or what we read even one shloka. We read even some things, and that is also meditation. And then we develop a little bit of greed, as mentioned before. That greed will pull us incredibly forward, and we want to hear more. We are thirsty. If the sakas attract us, then we want to hear more about the sakas. And then suddenly we find in some literature where so many beautiful pastimes we cannot get enough. Or we are attracted by the loving affairs of Krishna with the gopis. There's so many more descriptions. The Saka descriptions are not easily found. They're very rare. there's one devotee long ago, Nayan Ananda Thakur. He has composed beautiful, he has written some book about Sakha pastimes, very beautiful, attractive pastimes, which can help us in our meditation. And if we are attracted by the Madhurya pastimes, there's plenty of literature available in the 10th canto and elsewhere. So, but it needs that creed. We can pray for that creed, but that creed will come in due course of time, out of his own accord. If we pray or not pray, it will just come like puberty comes to a boy or a girl. And then everything develops from there. Amrita Radhe, any question?
Prabhuji, Amrita has gone to offer bhoga. Sorry.
Okay. Did you get in touch with Maharaj on WhatsApp?
Tomorrow I'll get in touch with Maharaj.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I have given him your WhatsApp number as well, so maybe he gets in touch with you or you with him, and then you work it on.
Yeah, I'll get in touch with him tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sending the number.
Okay, we stop because the Lord has eaten his prasadam. We're looking very much forward of having you here on the 12th, and we're looking very much forward of seeing you in Derby as well, and your parents again, and it will be very beautiful.
So are they going to come?
Yes, Prabhuji, definitely.
You will be very much blessed. What are you
Yes,
saying?
Prabhuji, thank you for.
I said, will the parents come? Your parents are here, Prabhuji?
Oh yes, Vaishnav Mataji, we cannot hear. Are your
Yes,
parents coming?
Mataji, Amrita, these parents are coming. The first week of April.
Okay.
Might be. I'll ask them once they come.
Yes.
Yes, it'd be nice.
Yes, it would be very nice to see them again.
If there's anything, about dietary needs or anything, just let me know, please. Okay?
Sure, Mataji, thank you. Yes, definitely.
Okay, here we stop. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.